Sustainability of Infrastructure by Bennett Eberhardt. So here's a quick review over the sustainability. Now, why is sustainability important? Sustainability helps us reduce production expenses as well as keeping the earth healthy. What does this mean for engineers? Well, in order to reduce carbon emissions, engineers can implement eco-friendly ideology and techniques. And what sort of ideas can increase sustainability? Ideas such as corrosion preventage, new production, and infrastructure analysis. First, let's understand why carbon emissions are an issue. In order to produce cement, the combustion process is required. Through the combustion reaction, carbon dioxide, CO2, is released as a byproduct. CO2 will escape into the atmosphere and can rupture the ozone layer. And then fractures to the ozone layer can lead to future global warming. On the right, I made an example of a combustion process that clearly has CO2, carbon dioxide, as a byproduct of the reaction. Now, what's so harmful about the fuel used for production? In infrastructure production, producers use gasoline in order to fuel each machine. Not only is gas a fossil fuel, but gas is extremely harmful for the environment as it is an unreusable source of energy. While gas is easy to burn as fuel, it is extremely harmful to the environment as an extreme contributor to the world's carbon emissions. Infrastructure analysis. Norwegian engineers have implemented a structural health monitoring system that consists of sensors observing bridges in order for machine learning and artificial intelligence to conduct further conclusions about the state of the infrastructure. The machine learning uses sustainable roadways as an example for the analysis, which gives conclusions about the future sustainability of said infrastructure. Another sustainability technique is maximizing the lifetime of the usage. Russian engineers have implemented sustainable ideas to pipelines in order to decrease corrosion and increase the time before a replacement is needed, both of which will lead to decrease in emissions. Less construction leads to fewer machines, and sustainable materials will decrease factory productions. On the right, you can see a graphic that I made that shows the comparison between new and pipelines after 5 years. And now the rest of the world has a brand new pipeline, and after 5 years, you can already see that it is corroding. Now, Russia, they have implemented the corrosion-free technology, and it extends the lifetime of usage. Here's a graphic of the benefits of sustainable production, and here's also a video explanation to understand it better.
Okay, so I understand that this graphic may be a little confusing to understand, so I'm going to try to simplify it as much as possible. So at the top we have eco-friendly production. This is where producers want to be at. This is the most sustainable. This is the future of production. Our first benefit of the three is inexpensive production costs. So through studies, many have been surprised that producing at a sustainable level leads to inexpensive production costs compared to the mass-produced products that we use today. The second benefit is fewer carbon emissions. So through sustainable production, carbon emissions through combustion will significantly decrease, which results in a lower carbon footprint and less CO2 in the atmosphere. Third benefit, we have sustainable acceptance. So in the 21st century, it has become apparent that global warming is a grand issue, and there's something that needs to be done about it. And that's where sustainable production comes into place. So by implementing this eco-friendly production, social media will understand that the world is implementing things to save the rainforest, to save the icebergs, to decrease the carbon emissions, and the society as a whole. They notice what's going on, and that brings up the morale. Okay, benefit is
All right. So here's a graphic displaying the dynamic cost model compared to the integer linear program deadline constraint. So the DCM is a projected production technique derived from multiple equations in order to calculate an estimated production cost of sustainable production. Now, on the other hand, the ILPDC is the current production pattern with its respective production cost. Now, from the graph, you can see that the DCM production is not only less expensive than the ILPDC production, but it also offers a sustainable benefits which lead to fewer future renovations.